La 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 la. So, hey guys, is the sound any better yet? Man, what an inauspicious, terrible start for a stream. I'm sorry about that. But I'm really having technical difficulties today. Clearly, I'm going to have to look into that. Oh, the sound's better? Is the sound actually working? Because even in the recordings, it was messed up. Uh, okay, this is it. This is the real live. Oh, it's got echoes? Well, it's probably going to have echoes. Let's see. Uh, is it tolerable or is it acceptable? Should I keep going with the recording or should I give up for now and come back when things are working better, do you think? Oh, I was hoping for so much better today. I had it all set up. Uh, Having the computer crash the moment I. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to do it. Um, so here we are at the Fortress of Swampcavern. Um, and for all the non Fortress viewers, let me talk about what's going on. Oh, okay. Things are going better, I guess. Well, great. What's going on in this world is that the dwarves. Oh, hey, I'm glad to see my viewers coming back. Uh, um, Things have been a little rough today. I tried to start, my computer crashed. I got started, and then the audio wasn't working. And so here we are now. What's going on is the dwarves of Swampcavern are practicing their military skill. They have a giant cave spider here. Let's see. It's by oh, thanks. I'm so glad to hear it. I'm kind of doing this for my fans. They make it possible for me. I'm getting nice comments from the chat. Thanks, chat. Um, we have a giant cave spider tied up outside the fort. So in case anything bad ever comes in, the giant cave spider can maybe try to web it or fight it for us, or maybe take shots for my beloved dwarves. Um, and so the goal today is these dwarves have a mega project in mind. They want to carve out a vast new room to be their tavern. And they want to put giant mushrooms on sort of a broken bridge leaning out over a vast empty space. But to do that, they want to have lots and lots of dwarves to throw at the project at once. And so to that end, what we want to do is let the dwarves do whatever it is that they're doing right now. And even I am not totally sure what that is, but they're all clearly very busy. So anyways, let's take a look maybe at the unit screen. So what's going on is everyone's doing stuff, like they're making clothes, they're meditating, they're socializing. We could take a look at what some of the people are doing. Oh, hey, here's an interesting thing for you. How often does this happen in your forts? This person here is training a dragon. So they're a well-trained dragon, but they could be even more well-trained, I guess. Let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpause here and let the fort run forward, and we'll just see what happens. And what's going to happen is the frame rate's going to plummet, and the dudes are going to go about their day. The main thing I can even think of that they're even doing in this fort is they're making clothes. Wow. And so the universe is being super cooperative. Yeah, you know, the dragons are kind of rare. You usually only get 1 or 2 per world if you're lucky. A larger world might have more. And then even the odds of them stopping by, they'd have to be able to get to your fort, whether it's by the caves. I don't know that they're willing to fly very far. Swampcavern, on the other hand, if we'd made their embark slightly bigger, the dragon's lair would have started on their embark. So it's not that surprising that the dragon showed up eventually. And that was something we knew kind of from the start of the game, as I'd been digging around the map, and I said, oh, there's a dragon in this world. With our luck, we'll see it. And by the way, the video where the dragon shows up is probably one of my best videos, is make videos about how to train dragons or how to train monsters. So if you're interested in a tutorial video about how to train your dragon, leave me a comment or let me know somehow. And so nothing really is happening in the fort, and I can tell by the lack of little messages blipping away at the bottom of the screen, like there's no hostile things, we're not fighting anything right now. These little dudes are running back and forth to get food, go to bed, sleep. Let's see. I should probably take more of a look at the units tab than I did to see what they're doing. What we're looking at here is the outside of the fort. Oh, someone is cooking food. Oh, what are you guys doing? Oh, they're going to a station. Oh, you know what they're doing is they want to kill something. All right, well, let's, hey, here, there's some wildlife on the map, and they want to kill it so that the whole game runs faster. Oh, Swampcavern never updated from a very old version, so I could check right this second. I'm not sure how that's going to affect the screen, but let me do that for you. I've been asked what version is Swampcavern running in. It's before the Major Villains update. So I could have updated beyond that, but this fort never generated with some of the villains and bad guys in this world. You know what? I'm gonna have to get back to you on that, unless it says here somewhere. But it's very old. Um, oh, well, okay. So here's the thing with Dwarf Fortress and stability is it goes through lots and lots of different updates, and they come out in various degrees of stability. So I kind of always test them for streaming purposes or playing purposes. Oh, 4304 in the DOS box. There you go. That was the, yeah. And so Swamp Cavern's never going to evolve beyond that, because even if it did, it wouldn't have generated with the little villains and things to connect to. Although I guess that would open up maybe some of the play for like, oh, like this is pre here. Oh, okay, okay. So unfortunately, the stream was cutting out a little bit for everyone, but I think it's back now. My connection says it's excellent. Hopefully, I'm back now. Let me know if I'm not, I guess. But yeah. So, anyways, to continue my story about the connection, or about the stability. Oh, okay, okay. Hopefully, it just recovers. Oh, okay. I'm watching my connection come and go. It catches up, and then it lags, and then it catches up. Hopefully, that's what it looks like to you. Okay, so no. Okay, yeah, yeah, it looks like it's catching up to me. I'm actually going to pause these guys because I'm not sure what they're supposed to be fighting down here. Oh, wait, I think I do know. I think there's a snake caught in a tree or something. I wonder if I can see it, or if they've been given orders. Well, okay, so to finish my thought on the stability of Dwarf Fortress is every so often you get these little islands of stability where like there's one edition that works really good, and I have two of them loaded up on my machine. I haven't tried any of the most recent ones, so I haven't gotten to play with features like invading the world. Um, Swampcavern just barely has some of the villain stuff in it. So I think there might be villains in the world or whatever, but they don't do anything. They don't send spies out or anything. I can't interrogate people, for instance, to see what they're doing. Oh, I just remembered what's going on here. um, they're trying to cut down a tree because there's a snake or something in it. And every time a person comes to cut down the tree, the snake frightens them and then they run away. And I think the military has been ordered to kill the snake, but if they do, they then leave because they can't reach it. And there it is. It's a black mamba. And this black mamba is the mamba of time. This black mamba is personally slowing down the rate at which Swampcavern runs. And it's the reason why, or it's part of the reason why it's running so badly right now. Um, let's see. But so, to my knowledge, the only thing we can do about it is hope a woodcutter shows up and chops down this tree that my military can kill the snake. So let's see what happens with that, I guess. Or wait, some of these people have crossbows. What squad are you in? Uh, well, okay, you know what? Do we have any ladders? We probably do have a few sitting around. I really don't like ladders for gathering fruit because the dwarves are mean and vicious about it. my experience with dwarves gathering fruit is they take ladders out, they walk up the tree using a ladder, and then uh, okay. What's going on is that my internet just dropped the point at which it would work properly, and now it says it's a good connection. So hopefully what I'm saying comes through. I might have to quit for technical reasons, which was always a possibility. This was always going to be at the allowance of the construction and my internet connection. So I'm trying here. I'm really doing my best, but yeah, okay. It's coming and going. Okay, so I'm gonna just try to plow through anyways and see what happens. Um, So, anyways, to finish the thought about the ladders, is the dwarves are mean to each other. One of them will run up the ladder to gather fruit. Another one will say, "Oh, that ladder's free," and then they'll yank it away from them and go to use it themselves. So basically, they use ladders to murder each other. So I don't believe in collecting fruit in Dwarf Fortress because they're so well ill-behaved about the ladders. Like, if you have a bunch of them, maybe it'll work, but the dwarf will take a ladder away from someone else before they'll go and get a new one. They're really bad about that way. So anyways, yeah, they're just nuts. There's some things that you can have them do, but you don't want them to. So okay, here I am. I'm gonna unfreeze time again to hope that uh, yeah, that's just it. That's the sort of thing you have to activate fruit gathering. That's so let's see if a person with a oh no, petitions available. I kind of don't want that. Oh no, is that oh, this is so goofy. So what just happened was my connection just completely dropped. I watched that happen. And then now it says I have an excellent connection. So you tell me, how much sense does that make? Oh, so yeah, here's this guy is a scribe. He's afraid, I suspect. This guy has a job as a woodcutter. He has a job to cut down a tree. There's a snake in this tree, so he walks up to it and he goes, "Oh no, snake! Look out!" And then he walks back to the fort. A new person gets the job, and until that person walks all the way out to the snake, they everything is fine. But then the moment they get to the snake, they see the snake and go, "Oh no, it's snake!" And then they forget about doing the job because they get scared and they run away. And so we're just kind of stuck in this repetitive loop where over and over people one at a time come out with this an axe to take out this tree for us. And so let's see, squads. Okay, it's the bolts of steel have been sent out here. What happens if, for some action, we... All right, so I've had the suggestion that I can always use DF hack to kill creatures, and here's the thing: is uh, I'm not a I'm not above doing that. Like I will cheat to make the game work so that I can keep playing it. For instance, like when the dragon lit the whole forest on fire, I turned rain on because this was just going to be a game-ending event. If the forest fire ground my fort to a halt to the point where time couldn't pass anymore, for instance, or if there's a creature stuck on a tree where I really can't get at it. But on the other hand, if there's an in-game solution to the problem that I can do, I will do. And so, actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say H bolts of steel kill oh wait, where did it go? Where's my snake? Oh, there it is. Kill. Oh, hello. Enter. Kill selected creatures at cursor. Okay, let's see if they do it. Because there's a very reasonable chance that they won't. They'll all just give up in disgust. Oh, they are pretty clearly not doing it. They are pretty clearly just giving up in disgust. Or, yeah, they're walking away because they say, I don't see a target. I can't get to it. Which is really unfortunate. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta do what you've gotta do. That's just it. And that's Dwarf Fortress in a nutshell for you. Okay, so yeah, they're like, oh, I can't kill the creature, I don't see it. So what I can do is I can give the bolts of steel and order them to go stand by it again. But they're probably going to cancel the job and then restart it, which means they're going to walk all the way back to the fort. Maybe not. Maybe some of them won't. We'll give them let's find out. H. I just want to move. Or let's see. H. Bolts of steel. Oh, what do I want to do? Or should I just cancel the order? Yeah, I'm going to cancel the order. And let time go a little bit. Let's see. Because they're probably, I mean, they're so goofy about that. Let's see. Time's running, but it's partly grinding so badly because I'm recording at the same time. Curse you, Black Mamba, curse you. I paused for a moment just to let the FPS catch up for a second. I'm not really sure that does much in the long run, but sometimes I think that it does. Because at least for this short little burst, these guys are all going to move at top speed or more normal speed for me. Let's see. I'm really tempted to give up on the snake killing operation. Let's see. I think I might be more interested in watching my little guys walk around my own fort. Does anyone care? I just said, okay, give up on the snake. Let's see. What's going on in the world right now? We have lots of stray giant cave spiders. We have stray giant tiger cubs, more than we know what to do with. We kind of should sell some or get rid of some. We have more stray war ocelots. We have stray war giant tigers, but we worked so hard at getting those, we're not getting rid of those. We really should kill a few more giant cave spiders to make things run faster. Oh, I could build some stairs up the tree. That, yes. I mean, at least a couple people could walk up to the top. Or we could build a platform there. We could build a platform for them to stand on and kill the thing from there. Those are some excellent, excellent suggestions. I'm getting some feedback from the chat that they want to kill the snake because they think that killing the snake might make the whole world run faster. And seriously, when something gets stuck on a tree like that, that's the time when it does. Like, the absolute worst is if some sort of giant monster walks out of the mushrooms in the cave from the cave levels, immediately walks to the third floor of a tree, and then just gets stuck there and tries to path and tries to path and tries to path. Because that's one of the most FPS killing things in the game. So, let's see. Oh, yeah, we've got a stray rock. We've got stray war giant cheetahs. They're in cages to try to minimize the FPS hit, which does a lot, but they're still doing a little bit. Every creature counts, unfortunately. Like, every little thing we could do, we should be doing, because what we really want is less FPS being burned on stupid creatures and more FPS burned on dwarves. Oh, I just watched my video drop and then come back to where I was. I hope the video is not too far behind. I'm not doing... well, I'm trying to let it run. Oh, the FPS is just terrible. Wow. What else is going on in this fort? Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm blipping around different levels of the fort to try to see what people are doing. Here we are in the tavern, the famous giant mushroom cave of the tavern. Here we are at the library level. There's a lot of people at the library for some reason. Oh. Okay. Blue Dog the mechanic is reading a book about gears. Deer Key is reading a book entitled Family for Students. Zag Zag the miner is reading a book on A Course on the Center. The title might be longer than that. A human scholar is discussing the verge escapement. That would be a mechanical connection between different kinds of gears. Nurzung Malice Ally, our resident goblin poet. She spends a lot of time in the library for reasons that escape me. Maybe she likes to talk to people there. She's not doing anything at the moment. Caftrum the scholar is discussing the verge escarpment. Wow, okay. Seti, who would be a gem setter, a creator of a legendary artifact, is not doing anything. How many people are not doing anything right now? Because that's what we want. We want people to be not doing anything. That was part of the goal for today. Whoops. Okay, nobody. Almost nobody is not doing anything. Well, okay. I just watched my stream completely drop and then come back. But hey, the thing I'm excited about is we're here to have people burn through their jobs. And the good news is that people are burning through their jobs. The bad news is that everyone has jobs. And time is passing so slowly, it's going to take a while. Nobody is free. Nobody is goofing off. I mean, okay, some people are goofing off, but they're not doing it for very long. And we have a few people listening to stories and poetry, but they probably need to be. Oh, yeah, the Goblin Scholar might be trying to write a book. It's entirely possible. The people who are discussing things, for instance, eventually might invent a new concept or write a book about the concepts or write a book about their fellow people if they get to know them. Someone's meditating on mountains. Man, I'm not sure I've ever seen a fort this busy, and they shouldn't be. The only main tasks we have queued up on the auto manager is all about clothes related or putting clothes away. We have children playing with stuff. We have people doing military things. People going to combat training. Right. I'm sorry about the bad stream connection. I know it works when it works. I watch it drop. I watch it come out. I'm actually kind of having fun. I intend to keep doing this for a while. In fact, I think I might keep this up for about 2 more hours. I'm not going to run out of things to say. We've barely run time forward. I'm kind of hung up on this "what are people doing" thing at the moment. If you have suggestions for stuff you'd like to see, or you want to hear about, or you want to look at, please shout out in the chat. Let me know what you're interested in, what you like the most. I'm actually going to go back to this combat situation, but it's not the most important thing that's going on in the fort. To me, the most important thing that's going on in the fort is what are people doing, and like, why are they not running out of jobs? Like, if I sit here and watch the tavern for a second, what happens? I think people will come and relax and do their jobs of relaxing and then hopefully go do something else. The goal is to get people to stop doing all their jobs so that they're ready for the monumental task of this digging project that I want to do. And for all the people who've just signed in, the digging project is, I like this super tavern over here. What we wanted to do was build one on a whole different scale, just much larger. It's going to be 19 levels tall. It's going to be much bigger. It's going to have a beautiful viewing platform for looking up at this broken bridge with mushrooms growing on top of it. It's a project that's going to take years. One thing that's starting to bother me is these petitions keep coming in to Swampcavern. And so I guess I'm going to pause for a moment and go look at the petitions. Here's the policy for petitions on Swampcavern is normally we let people in because we want more people. This is a world that's short on dwarves. Somewhere in the world, a wire rubs against a branch, and my cable connection literally comes and goes. I swear something that stupid is happening. But anyways, meanwhile, in a dwarfy world, people are screwing about the tavern, drinking, telling stories, sometimes pretending to be musical instruments. This guy is telling a story. What is the story that this guy is telling? The dwarves are fascinated by politics. In the early summer of 128, the dwarf Duck Shark became the mayor of the Letter of Deeps. That's us. Duck Shark is one of our own, and 128 would be 3 years after the founding of Swampcavern, a very legendary time indeed, because Swampcavern is very old by Dwarf Fortress standards. Swampcavern is more than 25 years old. It may well be 30 years old. Um, let's see. Okay. Never mind about that. Move. Move, you little dwarfy jerks. Go do your jobs. Go. Hey, it's the mayor. Or wait, yeah, what's he doing? Um, Aquaman, buddy, what are you thinking about? He's feeling vengeful while joining an existing conflict. Oh, fantastic. Um, really? Feel like this is kind of the thing that I need to know about. Uh, oh, he's been watching performances. He's been delighted. He's been uneasy. Oh, this is a fortress of untold riches, and you can't been unable to acquire something for too long. If you can't acquire something, it's because you were too lazy to walk over to the stockpile, pick it up, and go, "Oh, this is mine now." We have adamantine things just sitting around for you to take. You've got all the clothes in the world. Oh, but you fussy little people. So let's see. Is someone fighting right now? Is there a battle going on that I need? So I don't know what Aquaman was talking about. Uh, Man, I hope my voice isn't blowing out on the recording. It said it was fine beforehand. Anyways, no, nothing is going on right now. Uh, there's some sparring, and if there was something going on, it would have been the goblin performer is fighting. But I'm going to go ahead and guess that that report is so old that we're not going to be able to get any data about it. No, of course not. That was last session or a long time ago. Who knows what it was about? Probably punching something with a sock. Let's see. Okay. Now I'm curious. Now I want to know what. Oh, okay. So the petitions thing. My policy is I've let in a lot of humans because our population is low, but now I want our population to grow back. I want more dwarves. So the only dwarves in this world are the ones that live in this fort or a muddy ditch or are captured by goblins somewhere. And so we've been letting in a lot of humans into this fort that we normally wouldn't because we're out of dwarves. They simply don't exist to join the world, to join this fort. So lately, the only reason I let someone in for a petition is if there's someone we want, if they have some kind of skill, or alternately, if they have a very funny name, or if they're with a group of traveling musicians. Like, we let in the group called the Strange Plants, and I'm glad we did because we wouldn't have the goblin poet Nurzung Malice Ally if we didn't. And that's one of the unique characters of this fort is we have a lot of goblins that hate this fort. We've killed so many goblins over the years. We've literally depleted the goblin forts around us. But um, we have a goblin poet who is upset about everyone keeps killing goblins all the time. And she runs to the mayor and complains to the mayor, stop killing the goblins. And the mayor says if they'd stop attacking us, we'd stop killing them. But so, and here they are in the same room. Or, well, no, I guess not. But here is Aquaman, Duke of Swampcavern, and he's listening to poetry. And we can even see what poetry he's listening to. Um, Oh, it's a work of no particular subject. The writing is forceful. Overall, the poetry is great. The oily silver is a poetic form intended to complain about mining, originating in the responsible nations. That's not us, that's a human nation in this world, I think. The rules of the form are applied by poets to produce individual poems which can be recited. It gets very ridiculously detailed from there. It's okay. All we know is it's about complaining about mining, I guess. Sometimes there's more details. Let's see. Um, okay, so the petitions. Uh, Emo Speaker Arm wishes to reside in Swampcavern for the purpose of soldiering. Um, Zoltho Glittercuss wishes to reside in Swampcavern for the purpose of soldiering. Um, Zoltho and Emo. I'm going to go ahead and guess they're not dwarves, and I'm unfortunately probably going to say no to them because we are kind of fill up. We have enough people as it is. Unless they're baby dwarves, we don't want them at this point. Let's see. Emo, can we take a look at units and uh, oh yeah, oh I know it, I know it. It's a human X-Men. I mean, it's like, okay, we've got nothing against humans, and we've been letting lots and lots of them in. Um, we make uniforms for humans. We make clothes for humans. We have tons of humans in the fort, but we have so many of them that we're kind of filled up. So let's see. What are you doing? Can you tell me about yourself? Should I? He has heard the cheerful mushroom would make a good base for a mercenary. Indeed, indeed. It's an excellent place for a mercenary. Any time of the day, any hour of the day, they're always there. You could go fight a hungry head or one of those little red devil guys. Um, as far as places for bases of mercenaries, you could hardly beat the cheerful mushroom in this world. I mean, how many fortresses in chaos biomes are there that are alive in the history of this world? Probably this one. There may have been several, but I don't think there's a lot around now. Um, Geez, if you can't tell, I'm really getting a kick from this live stream. It frustrates me that the connection comes and goes, but I'm thrilled that some of my favorite people in the world are here watching me do this. I know I have a few people who've maybe never seen Dwarf Fortress. I know there's maybe a few Dwarf Fortress players here. So let me know if you need to know some of the fortressy things going on. Let me know if you want to know what the creatures are, or if there's rooms you want to visit or whatever. I mean, there's parts of the forts we haven't even looked at this live stream, whether it's the tops of the towers or the places where we make stuff. But let's see. So. I don't know how they're going to feel about this. They're certainly welcome to hang out in the tavern or whatever, but I gotta not watch this petitions available thing flash in front of my face anymore. So I'm so sorry, Emo Speaker Arm. You are denied. And Zoltho Glittercuffs. We're gonna go look, but let's face it, you're probably not a dwarf. Zoltho. So units. Others. Uh, uh-oh. Oh, wait. I'm doing this the hard way. They're right there. Zotho, the human spearman. Just go to units. They're hanging out in the cheerful mushroom, and they have no activity at the moment. Okay, let's see. Do, 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 do. No. petitions. Zolfo, no. Denied. Let's see. However, okay, so there's no active reports. There's no combat. You only have those guys being stationed at the front. Let's see. Poetry complain about mining. Well, the poetry often talks about the leaders. The poetry often talks about events, but there's a great deal of poetry. So yeah, I think the dwarves complain about things a lot in the world. They complain about their rations. They complain about being sent out to the front for large periods of time. They complain about the leadership. Certainly, when people are fired from being the mayor, and it makes them quite upset. And all the dwarves think it's a big, like, some mayors are very unpopular. Like, when they get fired, when they get unelected, people might make a statue about that for years and years. Uh, I think I'm gonna just blip around the fort a little bit more to go to other places to see what's happening. Um, let's see. Oh, I don't know. Do you guys have this in your fort? This is the test firing range. In this fort, we have blind engineers who are good at firing ballistas and crossbolts. And here's where they trained. They would fire. Come back. Come back, connection, come back. Okay, anyways. So we had people who were in a military group, uh, and they are blinded by deadly dust from some ancient forgotten beast. And but we taught them to fire a ballista or a catapult blindly, and these are the ballistas we used to do it. And what they would do is they would load a stone shot into this ballista and fire it, and it would smack into the back wall of this room, drop down a level, and then fall onto this level here, where people could pick it back up and then carry it over to the stockpile that surround these things, or is right behind these things. And this is the device which we once used to injure a good third of the fort, because what was happening was people were going to pick up the rocks, a rock would fall on them, and then they would get injured, and then they wouldn't have the good sense to go to the hospital. So at one point, a good third of the fort was all walking around wounded from hauling stones and having stones fall on them from doing that, because so many of them were doing it. So that was a bit of a disaster. And I'm deliberately letting time run forward here because I got my eye on the announcements, and nothing's being announced. So seriously, don't care about that. I worry more that stuff is happening and I'm missing it, but nah, I know it's not. Okay, so here's the thing. Waiting for the video to catch up here. These are the mighty lava-fed forges of Swampcavern, and no one is making anything at the moment. We have no orders for bolts. We have no orders for armor. We have all the armor we want, really, quite frankly. Swamp... Oh, no. No data. Oh, okay. So one thing that's happening is my connection may come and go, but I'm recording everything I do, so I can have at least a good recording of my live stream event. And I could always come back and edit out the crap later and just have the more useful, smooth, cool parts. So that's something I might have to consider if it's worth the effort of putting that into it. So anyways, as I was saying, this is where the dwarves of Swampcavern make all their stuff. And we're to the state where some of our adamantine armor is actually so old that it's getting worn out. We're to the point that we might have to melt down old adamantine armor and make new adamantine out of it, or else have dwarves running around wearing worn out stuff. And I'm not sure which is worse. But I also know that we have a lot of, we've got, what we have is, unfortunately, we have a bunch of bins with really good equipment in it sitting around. And what I need to do is make a project of just dumping the bins out. Because so far as I know, the dwarves aren't seeing some of the equipment in there properly. Like maybe sometimes they do, maybe sometimes they don't. Probably for the most part, they never do. So I know we have a bunch of equipment that just needs to be emptied out of bins and dropped onto a stockpile floor somewhere so that someone might come along and get it. But also, the dwarves themselves are kind of bad about that, especially they get attached to cloaks or clothes. So I have some warriors running around with super armor, but they're wearing a really worn out leather robe or leather cloak because they're like, I've had this cloak for years. It's my favorite cloak. I'm never taking it off, basically. And so sometimes they will have the sense to replace it. Certainly, we have more than enough cloaks to replace all the ones they've worn out, but they're a little bit slow to replace it. Sometimes they'll wear worn out armor, and sometimes it gets to the point where I might just plain have to tell them, hey, a bunch of the armor you're wearing is worn out. Take off all your armor and start over. And we have the means to do it on an individual basis if we have to. But that's a lot of effort to put into just one guy, so hopefully it doesn't ever come to that. Let's see. Oh, people are coming and going. People are practicing. Okay, FPS of 10. This is just ridiculous. We really, really do need to do something about this snake. I see now that we've been running the thing for some times. So the first thought is units, or squads, I mean. Hammers of time. You are just not doing anything out here, so we're canceling your station. Go. Okay, you guys, don't take off your stuff and throw it on the ground. Just return to the fort. I don't know how long you've been stationed out here. I suspect it's been for a while. Go home. Let me see you do it. I'm not going to do anything until I see these guys actually make it back to the fort, because then I know that a certain amount of useful time has passed. And they're not that far, by the way. The fort's just over here. I kind of like larger embarks. I always used to do smaller ones, but I've realized that if you balance the number of dwarves and animals you have in your fort with the size of your embark, you can actually get away with larger embarks. Also, it depends on what you do with it and what's there. Like, if you have a dry cave embark where one or more of the levels is dry with no water on it, there will never be any moss. There will never be any mushrooms on those caves. And that's a huge boost to FPS, or frames per second. And the reason I keep going on and on about frames per second is it's the measure of how time passes in the world. Like, 10 or so frames is really pretty bad. It's kind of hovering around unplayable, where I consider to be 15 is kind of livable, 20 is actually good, and 30 is something I would only normally achieve at the start of the game. Although at the very start of the game, my computer is powerful enough to achieve way more than that. I can pretty quickly wind it down or run it into the ground. It's harder than that. So let's see how those dudes are doing. Yeah, look, they're already making it. They've already made it back to the fort for the most part. So in a way, this is kind of livable. This really isn't so horrible. I mean, it's almost more important that you can see progress reports and what they're doing. You know, I swear that's more than 10 FPS because I'm actually not talking right now. It's just that makes no sense. That is not no 10 frames per second. Those little dudes were booking it. Uh, Hungry Head has given birth to twins. Stop doing that. No. Where? Oh, you jerk. Units, others, Hungry Head. Oh no. Oh, please tell me it's not one of the ones in the cage. It is. Or wait, no, maybe not. Okay, so for those of you who are hardcore Dwarf Fortress players, Hungry Heads are these winged heads that fly around in the caves and try to bite at your guys, and they're flying opponents, so they're extremely annoying, and they're kind of tiny targets. They're a wonderfully unique Dwarf Fortress monster. Uh, I don't know where they are. Oh, they're in one of the caves of the Hell of Mushrooms, one of two to choose from. This one is a male. It's way high up in the air, and uh, it's well fed. Um, it flies on bat's wings. His hair is black, uh, and um, he's in what I call the Hell of Mushrooms because it's a tremendously vertical thing. Oh, and look, here's some of his little friends over here. Um, I'm going to zoom in. I'm trying to zoom in. Here they are. Look at these cute little guys. Ah! They get their mouths open. They're flying around on little bat wings. All right. Um, let's see. Oops. Oh man. Okay, guys. I'm so sorry about the technical issues. At the moment, there's not a whole lot I can do. Okay, I see I'm back to a good connection. I kind of just lost it there for a second. So, you know what? I think with the blessing of my viewers, I'm just going to go zap that snake because I want to see what the FPS result just for killing that one stupid snake is. Like, how much do you want to bet uh, that my FPS pops up from around 10 to maybe just at least better? Uh, okay, everyone. Exciting news. There's been a development on the combat situation. Uh, so I know this has been really annoying. Thanks for the people who've been bearing with me. But this is so exciting. The tree is actually getting chopped down. This wood chop, because now there's no military there. So, anyways, here's what's going to happen is I'm saying squad, our very best squads, both and B, A and B. Let's see. Um, I'm not going to give them the attack move because they wouldn't do it. But I am going to move them out here. I'm going to move them to a point. I'm going to move them to this point right here. And now let's go watch them do it. Oh, this is so exciting. There's actually going to be combat for my live stream. I didn't really think there was going to be, but here goes. Maybe. We'll find out. I guess I'm going to zoom out just a little bit to try to see it a little better. So here goes. Actual fighting. Here comes the army. Oops. I think that was me. This guy's chopping the tree. Or wait, did he quit? Please don't tell me that he quit. Oh, he didn't quit. He did chop down the tree, and the snake is free. There it is. The snake is overcome by terror, but it's loose. It's no longer stuck on a tree. So I know this sounds. Hello, hello. Okay, I'm just waiting for my stream to catch up. I'm so sorry about that, but it's beyond my power to do anything about it at the moment. So I know it seems silly that I'm so excited about a snake being chopped down from a tree, but this is the snake of time. We have defeated the snake of time. The snake that was slowing down the entire fort has been defeated. And so now it's running away. I don't know if it really knows the military is coming to kill it, but let's find out what happens to the snake of time. And let's find out what happens to my FPS. Let's see if it goes up beyond 10 when I push the button here. So here we go. The snake is running away, running away. Oh, we're right on the edge of the screen. The snake doesn't know it, but it's running towards the military a little bit. Oh, now it's moving more towards the fort. Oh, I wonder if it stops being overcome by terror. Let's find out. Yes, the Black Mamba is no longer overcome by terror. Let's see. Um, Squads A and B, I'm giving you new move orders. Move closer to the snake. Let's find out what happens. Here we go. Does the snake walk off the screen? Does the snake walk towards the army? Is the snake hostile? The snake might be indifferent. The snake left. The snake is off the screen. All right. So I'm watching my connection come and go. It's really frustrating to me because I'm pausing sometimes uh, to let the video catch up because I'm watching it happen in real time. And so you can maybe imagine how frustrating that might be for me. But you know what? I'm going to try to soldier on for a little bit anyways. I said I was going to try to do this for 2 hours. And so long as I keep seeing that excellent connection sign up, I'm going to keep trying. Um, let's see. Squads A, your station has been canceled. Squad B, your station has been canceled. Go back to doing whatever you feel like doing, which is probably training. Everyone's like, oh, we're not going to kill the snake. We're a little disappointed. We were looking forward to killing the snake. Oh, I was wrong. Possibly because I'm still recording, or maybe because of other creatures. Wait, the frames per second did go up to 11. Did we get 1 whole frame per second for killing that thing? I mean, we could always go kill hungry heads, but they're not stuck. They're probably flying around just fine. Maybe we should look. I don't know. What else should we look at? What else are people doing in this fort? I mean, there's all sorts of ways we could attack the FPS problem. I could go around deleting things. We could fight monsters in the basement if we actually killed some that would do something. But I just looked. There's not that many monsters in the basement. Let's see. So I'm a person that runs on coffee. At some point here, I might have to go make some more coffee. I would probably just leave my stream up while I'm doing that. I really enjoy live streaming. I hope I get a chance to do it more. I know I've got a few of my diehard viewers here. Some other people are coming and going. I know the coming and going nature of my stream is hurting me, but hopefully if I do this with some consistency, I don't know. Like, if you like this fort, or you like the presentation, or you like Dwarf Fortress, subscribe to my channel. Um, I've got all sorts of good tutorials. I've got all sorts of entertaining videos. Rummage around a little bit. My best videos used to be my most recent ones. That's no longer the case. All my best videos are my Swampcavern ones, or some of my most recent Minecraft videos also qualify as my best work. And ironically, often my best videos are not the most popular ones. I have I have thousands of views, tens of thousands of views on some videos that are really quite good, but my best videos tend to be my most recent Dwarf Fortress or my most recent non-live stream videos. Although I have to say, my last Minecraft video may not have gotten that many hits after the fact, but it had a huge number of viewers at the time. So in a way, that was a tremendous success. Like, I have a new perspective on how well my Minecraft videos went. For instance, the well-known YouTuber, and I was getting 50 or so for um, Minecraft stuff, but uh, I was lucky enough to get 30 viewers at the time for my Minecraft stuff, and I'm getting quite a few viewers for now, considering how many technical difficulties I've had. So, Tomo Hirozuso, Lady Consort, is visiting. A lady consort would be a political figure from another nation in the world. The other nations of the world are not dwarves, so she can't be a dwarf. But if I'm not mistaken, the lady consort would be an important personage, a consort to a highly ranked person in another political thing. And so we actually tried to make friends with these people. This is mostly role playing and imaginary parts in my mind, but Swamp Cavern, or Ogrid Core, as I'm trying to think of it more, is tries to make little political alliances with the other people of the world by being nice to them. I mean, that's why we let them into our fort sometimes. Uh, it's part of why we have such a nice tavern. We're trying to show off both our wealth and our military power, as well as our building prowess. So, let's see. Uh, Units, others. Lady Consort, did you just step onto the map? You did. Uh-oh. Well, I hope there aren't any snakes or any other bad things around you as you're walking towards the fort. Let's find out, I guess. Although the lady consort is also a warrior. Wait. Um, uh, what? Where are you going? Don't tell me you're stuck. What is? I'm confused. Okay, we're paused. I'm unpaused. Um, Lady Consort is a warrior. No activity. You can learn more about this visitor after they chat with a local. They can't chat with a local if they don't move. We're not paused. They're not moving. Oh, wait, now they are. That stream can be walked across. There's no bad guys. Is there? Lady Consort, what are you doing? You're scaring me. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, now you're moving. No, you're not. Okay, you know what? I don't care. I'm giving up on you. Go, can you go look at something else? Um, let's see. What about... Am I wrong? Are there bad guys that are stuck in the cave somehow? Want to go look at a stray war giant elephant? um, Man, we really need to kill some of these monsters. I'm going to set that up maybe in between streams or something. There's a giant cave spider somewhere that's not in a cage. Maybe that's the sort of thing I should be worried about. Oh, nah, it's fine. It's just a stray giant cave spider wandering around my fort. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. I'm lying. I don't know that everything's fine. Maybe everything is not fine. Maybe there's a hostile giant cave spider that wants to kill my guys. That would be funny. Oh, look, it fell in a cage. And now it's being led away to be put in a different cage. I suspected as such. Oh wait, you just pastured it? That's what it is. You put it in the pasture. Let me guess. Could, what's going on here? Yes. Right. Okay, yeah. No, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I was just confused. Um, that could have been an entirely different situation. Uh, what are you doing in this hallway? Crow Girl? Oh, you're hauling things? Well, hey, some of the military is so bored they're hauling stuff. That's probably a good sign. Uh, okay, these people are all busy. Those people are all busy. Those people are all busy. There's some socializing going on. Uh, Streams catching up. Everyone that I look at is busy. There's a lot of combat drills. It's not like I really want to cancel those. Hey, there's some watching armor demonstrations or leading armor demonstrations or watching armor demonstrations. I feel like I'm leading a Dwarf Fortress demonstration. Children playing make. No, no one is not busy. This is possibly the first no job I've come across. Everyone is busy. 215 dwarves. Have I even gone through 100 yet? I'm not doing that right now. Okay, never mind. But my idea was I wanted to see if people are not busy yet, and the answer is no. Everyone's busy. Okay. Let's see. I'm a little bit scared. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm tempted to go make coffee while the game is running and I walk back and forth and check. Because at 10 frames per second, it's not like a whole lot is going to happen anyways. I hope. And I think the game is set to auto-freeze. So, okay, here's what I'm doing is I'm just kind of walking around the fort looking at stuff. And I'm letting it run. And oh, we couldn't create a pearl glass or a clear statue because we need pearl ash. I think it's being made. If anything, the FPS is worse now. Oh, great. It's probably those hungry heads having babies. Although, geez, it says FPS is 8, but people sure are moving around fast. I'm starting to think the FPS counter is lying to me. Oh, hey, here's the temple to no particular god in Swampcavern, and I see it's doing brisk business right now. There's a lot of people doing some praying in there to the various. All the statues in here are to the different gods that these dwarves worship. There is no individual temple in Swampcavern. We may have started one or two, I forget. We're looking way down on the top of the tavern room from here. People are running around the tavern. Mist is falling in the fortress. Time is passing only very slowly. Let's see. People are coming and going. Some of these people are telling stories. Others are just going about their daily lives. Hey, here's Aquaman. He's one of my favorite guys to look at. What's he doing now? Oh, I don't usually think much. Always a property you want and a leader of a fortress. Always felt euphoric due to inebriation. Good for you, Aquaman. You know how dwarves feel about their beer. Yeah, I'm sorry about the technical limitations. I'm sorry that somewhere in the real world a leaf rubs on a wire and my connection goes from excellent to terrible. Um, at the moment, there's nothing I can do about that. In the long term, there may be something I can do about that. We'll see. So it goes against my very grain to just let the game run and run without doing something or watching something. Um, I guess I'm going to watch the military guys train uh, because I absolutely need to go and make some more coffee here. I can't talk for 3 hours straight and not have any coffee. Um, I'm a little surprised I've lasted this long. Let's see. So I said I was going to start at 2 and go for 2 hours, maybe 3. We're coming up on 2. Um, I'd like to thank my very patient viewers for sticking with me. Oh no. Oh, this is a disaster for the FPS, but it's entertaining for the stream. A stray war giant elephant has given birth to giant elephant calves. So, what? Wait, more than one? Or did more than one elephant give birth at the same time? And keep in mind, these are stray war giant elephants. And I don't know if they gave birth in a cage or if these are free range stray war giant elephants. We can go and take a look at a moment, I guess. Reports. Oh, it's not that kind of report. Um, uh, let's see. Units. I could go to pets and livestock. I can go to stray giant elephant calf tame. So sure enough, more than one was given birth to at the same time, I suspect. Oh, let's see. Wow, we can have a number of situations going on here. So much so that I'm kind of mental overload for me, which is not uncommon for Dwarf Fortress. Usually the thing that makes me stop playing a session is I'm finally just overwhelmed. Like it's getting harder and harder to do, and I just can't do it anymore. There are certain tasks in Dwarf Fortress that cause such mental overload that I quit playing the session. Like, oh, I have to set up the armor now. Or sometimes, oh, bad guys have attacked, but I'm really tired and I was going to bed anyways. So in that case, what I let them do is let them step onto the map and make sure they're really, really there, and then save the game and quit, so that when I come back to it, I'm fresh. So we should sort of see to it that the stray giant calves aren't born in a cage. I guess I'll go to them right now to do that. Okay, no, they're running around. But also, I should really go and check in on those stray war giant tigers to make sure that they're not starving in the caves that they're in. People should be feeding them, but I'm not sure I totally trust them to do that. Hopefully, I don't forget to do that. What we have here is a person training a stray giant cave spider, and this is of the utmost importance, because if people ever stop training things in this fort, we may have giant monsters that revert to wild. And the last thing we need is a giant cave spider deciding that it's not friendly anymore and going berserk and attacking military dwarves, or dwarves randomly walking down the hallway, not expecting to get attacked. And especially the last thing we want is a monster going nuts and attacking one of our most beloved dwarves, like a super armor maker or a super weapons maker. That would be a disaster of the highest possible order, basically. Although, in all fairness, in this fort we have dwarves that could take on a stray giant cave spider. We have the armor, we have the training. They would stumble through webs, but they would make it through them. But it would be a scary situation. There would be potential losses, would be totally a thing that could be going on. So here's what I'm going to do is I really can't keep going without something to drink to keep my voice going a little bit. So I'm going to go to the tavern and just let things run in the tavern and go start my coffee. So you're going to hear that, I guess. Hey, does anyone in the chat have any questions? Do you have any suggestions on what you want to see or what you want to look at? Oh, I'm so nervous. Anything explode yet? Nope, still working. Okay, so coffee's brewing, dwarfs are dwarfing. Is the dragon trained enough to be let out during battles? The problem with dragons is even tamed ones will try to attack your military on sight. They just see the military as a hostile thing. So the dragon could absolutely be sent out if we ever. Okay, so anyways, yeah, the dragon, I might deploy the dragon, like if we really had a dangerous siege, or I might maybe battle it against a forgotten beast or something. That might be entertaining. The dragon couldn't be trusted to battle alongside my troops because they might attack it, or it might attack them, or they might run in front of it, and it would deploy its breath weapon. So, uh, anyways, I haven't seen any messages. Just losing it. Okay, well, hopefully I'm back now. Coffee is brewing. Connection seems to be restabilized. Let's see. I'm gonna look at my guys. Um, okay, still really haven't run out of stuff yet that I can see. Combat drills. No, everyone's busy. Okay. Well, keep being busy, I guess. Oh. Um, this is exactly the sort of thing I was talking about. Oh, yeah. Okay, I've got a question about the training schedule, and the answer is yes. They they do are allowed to take a break. I don't just have them set to train continuously throughout the year. For one thing, I let them take a couple months off just to do whatever they want, but also to help move things around the fort or build things. I was talking about pausing the game. Um, is here we have this human mace lord has named their weapon. And so, indeed, this is a sign that if anything really important or deadly did pop up, the game would, in fact, pause. So, I'm happy to see this. Although this particular announcement is not super useful to me, as most of these people have named their weapons, and the names don't mean anything to me. Um, So yeah, actually, the military, the way their schedules is set up is most of them have maybe 3 months of the year off in a rotating schedule, and then some of the more trained ones might have four, and they're staggered so that they're not all at the same time. Uh, and the reason I do that is because if you ever station dudes for a long period of time and they never take time off, they might really get hungry or sleepy or cranky, and then they may not be the best about taking care of that for themselves. They may take their military job so seriously that they don't eat properly, and then they get angry about that. It's not that they let themselves starve to death, especially since they're carrying rations, like food and water on them as the military, fortunately. Um, let's see. Uh, Coffee's brewing. It's almost done. I can hear it. I think I'm maybe going to watch these guys train on the surface unless I can think of something else to do. It's not like a tremendous amount of time is passing, but if they're walking that fast, that 10 frames per second is just a lie. That's not how fast they'd move at 10 frames per second, really. I mean, the only complaints I'm getting about is about this pearl ash. No one's fighting. People are moving cages in and out. Look at this guy over here. I've got an engineer or something. He's struggling to move a cage with an animal in it. Um, I've been not talking about some of the things I see on the screen that mean something to me that I don't know if all my viewers or some of my viewers would even recognize, such as there's a lot of debris from old battles on the battlefield here. Like here's spider webs from a previous fight where we let giant spiders out of a cage. Um, that's one of the videos available on my channel if you want to go find out the giant cave spider versus monsters fight. Here is a ballista which we were using to blow up trees. We had all these trees that were falling down from the dragon lighting them on fire, and I was using a ballista because chopping them down with dwarves wasn't safe. Here we have a lot of leftover crap from previous battles that we really need to throw away sometime. It's hurting the FPS rotting out here, but there's other possible higher priorities like getting rid of some animals. One of the most powerful things we could do to bounce back the FPS in this fort would be to get rid of the ridiculous number of pets we have. Like, oh no. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Now? Oh, well, welcome back to my viewers who are back. Say hello to my shouting idiot neighbors. This is probably a bad audio time, but oh, what an exciting time to be a viewer in this fort. We have a special guest appearance. I could hardly be more delighted. Let me do this in my usual fashion. The forgotten beast, Earth Golgonsod, has come. An enormous one-eyed crab. It has two stubby horns and it squirms and fidgets. Its slate gray exoskeleton is leathery. Beware its poisonous vapors. Ooh, this is so exciting. We got a we got a forgotten beast. I don't know why. There's not very many left in the world. It's one of my dude's favorite things to do in the world is fight. Um, and so, unfortunately, my viewers who bailed on me earlier are going to miss out on the exciting Forgotten Beast fight. And I was thinking about maybe quitting at 4, but oh, how can I quit now when we have the excitement of a Forgotten Beast to fight? Um, Unfortunately, I won't be busting out uh, the Armok vision for this because that would be a guaranteed way to get a crash and lose my recording in my stream. But okay, so like I was saying, what we can do is we can pause the game. Hey, Off the top of your head, does any of my viewers know what the df hack command for quick save is? This is exactly the sort of moment where I would quick save the game, except that I've forgotten how. We could just take our chances, I suppose. Let's see. Uninvited guest. Oh, this is so exciting. Oh, that's just it? Is you just say quick save? Okay, I'm gonna try it. Oh, okay, yeah, all right, I'm doing that. Okay, all right, my viewers are concerned about the lives of my dwarves, which they very well should be, because, yeah, I mean, I hate deadly dust most, but poisonous vapors are also really bad. That is quite the thing. And so, this is the sort of monster that you want to fight through a siege entrance. This is not the sort of monster that you just want to send everybody in. So, in a way, not only do you kind of not want to fight the monster with your best dwarves, you don't even want to fight it with the dwarves that you like. Or, as my viewer points out, send in some non dwarves to fight this. Unfortunately, the squads we have are mostly dwarves with a few humans mixed in. The lower down the squad list they are, the less we care about them in terms of how new they are or how good they are. I often like to use Forgotten Beasts against the more recent squads, the ones that need the more training up as a training exercise. But first of all, he's probably going to be in the Hell of Mushrooms. It's probably going to take him a while to get to us. And so, what this is going to be is it's going to be the classic situation where we tell everyone to run into the fort, we tell some people to run towards the siege entrances, and then, and only then, we find out if the fort is properly sealed off. Like maybe it tries to sneak in some alternate entrance or some way I don't know about. Wouldn't be the first time if that did happen. And then we try to battle it through a siege entrance. And so the thing is, if we really wanted to, we could just seal the doors and lock the doors. We could just lock this thing out. But again, that's kind of not really my style. My style is usually to be brave and go in there and fight it. Although we do have people we like more and people we like less if we want to play it that way. And I frequently do. I don't send my crackest troops against the deadliest of opponents unless I'm willing to sacrifice them, which again also I sometimes am. But oh no, I only just okay, so also I'm seeing my streams going and coming and catching up or whatever. Part of that is don't worry about that, my viewers. I'll make a coherent video about the fight of this forgotten beast also anyways. And um, let's see. So here we go. Let's go find out where it is. Oh no. All right. Well, uh, hope it saved at that moment. Maybe it didn't. Um, I guess this kind of feels like a sign that I should end the stream here. I'd like to thank all my viewers for showing up. I had a lot of fun. this has just been plagued by technical problems and frustrations. So I'm sorry about that, but I'm just going to go through the list and try to fix everything. I really did have fun doing this. I really did enjoy doing this. I hope to do it more in the very near future. And hopefully I'll have a much less frustrating experience when some of the technical details have been hammered out. I knew I was having internet trouble. It had already gone down completely once the night before and the day of this, so I knew that was going to be a thing, and sure enough, it was a thing. But I'm not so discouraged. I'm going to stop. I'm going to try to learn from it and keep plowing through. So I'd like to thank everyone who's been very patient with me for sticking through as long as you did. And I'll come back and try this again sometime when things are less crazy. So subscribe to my channel, check out my videos. I really do good work, and usually it's less crazy and frustrating than this. So sorry about that, and thanks for showing up. I'm going to end the stream now. Seems like the appropriate time.